evening, everybody. Welcome back to SD Productions Gaming. Hope you're all well tonight, guys. Right, we're here. It is qualifying and race 1 day for Super Bikes tonight. Let's go over the timetable. We have had some alterations, so I'll run through those now. So, Super Sport riders are just going to have the one 15-minute qualifying session, so they're going to go at 7:30 as per usual. Then free practice. Good evening, Logan. Good evening, everybody. We are going to have the Superbikes FP3 at 10 to 8, and then at 8:05 the Superpole will get underway, and then we will have Ducati Monster 1200 Cup at round about 8:35. I would have thought, somewhere around there, and then we'll probably have the Superbikes around 9 o'clock ish. So there we go. We have got Superpole for Super Bikes tonight, so we'll bring you up to speed with all Super Bikes a little bit later on in the show. But we start tonight with this, a wonderful poster done by Super Ted regarding our title sponsor. Yes, we'd like to give a big shout out to Exact Moves for being our title sponsor here at SDPG for the British Superbike Championship. Now, if you want all things business, removals, movals, installations, go to Exact Moves. They do a fantastic job, and I've got some very high clients, I can tell you now, high-flying clients, or whatever you say, I have no idea, but yes, good clients if you want some business removals and movals, etc., etc., Exact Moves is the place to go. Also, ladies and gents, we have got a brand new Instagram page. Well, it's not brand new, it's been out for a few weeks now. It's our BSEC page. Yes, so go check that one out. All the latest news from SDPG and the Academy / BSEC as we move in, transition into BSEC. Everything is on there, so go give that one a follow over on Instagram. We are going to work on a Facebook page in the coming days. Mason, you've been doing a fantastic job with your Instagram, buddy. Thank you for your support. Thank you to all the riders and teams for their Instagram support as well. It is fantastic to see so many of you, like Mason Roth, who, if you haven't seen Mason Roth's content, go on the BSEC page. There's some of Mason's work on there. Fantastic stuff from Mason, some lovely write-ups. Also from Brett as well, he does some great write-ups as well, and there's many others to go and check out. Right, so where are we this weekend? Well, we're at Cadwell Park, and actually, me and Dill C46 himself were at Cadwell this weekend for NG Road Racing, round number 1 of their championship in real life. And this was a little video I took. Well, if you were with us last night, you will have seen this, but we will grace your ears with the sound of two strokes. Take a look at this. Apologies, ladies and gents, I was talking to myself. There we go. Yes, there's the calendar. And now I've been speaking for about 2 minutes to myself. I'm not going to repeat myself, but there you go. There's the grid. There's the calendar. Okay, that was a good start. Right, I'm just going to have a quick swig. Bear with. There we go. So yes, can of Pepsi, other fizzy drinks are available. There we are. No problem, Connor. Thank you, buddy. Yes, so we'll go into detail of each session when we get to it. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I've just seen the viewing figures. Fantastic start to the stream. Stick around, ladies and gents, because we've got free practice 3 coming up for Super Bites. Then the Super Pole session. Fantastic session that's going to be. Then we've got the Ducati Monsters qualifying, and then the first race of the weekend to round out the night, which will be for Super Bites. Let's have it. Are we ready to go? Good. But it is time for the AMI Electrics British Super Sport qualifying. Let's go with the first action of the night then. AMI Electrics British Super Sport qualifying on the way next. And the green flag is now out at the end of pit lane and all around the circuit for the riders. 15 minutes of Super Sport qualifying is on the way. Looking forward to this one. We'll get into what happened, well, what's been happening in Super Sport when we get into this session. And if George pops up saying that he's not in, I will not be surprised here. Right then. No. Oh, right. That's good. Well, George is in. That's fun. That's good. Okay, well, it's Ashley. Ashley, you want your wall back, mate? Okay, well, the game doesn't like Ash. That's just rude, because Ash is actually a nice bloke. Right then. God, it's warm in this commentary box. I'm going to have to turn my fan on in a minute. Right, here we go. It is qualifying then for the Super Sport runners. We have got just one 15-minute session. We were meant to have a Q1 and Q2. We didn't have enough numbers to run that this weekend. Well, we didn't have enough numbers yesterday, but we have enough today. But we decided to go with the format because we'd already committed to it. So there we are, ladies and gents. We'll go through the order when we get going with this one properly into the session. So, notable change. We have got Vinny here on screen, number 54, on a Honda instead of a Yamaha. Switch manufacturers. Not really getting on with the Yamaha. It has been, Vinny will be full-time in the championship for season 2. So he's just testing out which manufacturer is best for him. He is on a Honda for the next season, so he decided to get some early development in. Excuse me, and go on this lovely looking Honda machine. As we get the first oh dear me, that's a tip off there for Vinny at the chicane. I think Jordan was just behind. He was indeed. So let's get the right graphic on screen. Lovely stuff. And we get Jordan now over the mountain in towards Hall Bends. I can tell you, Jordan had a win here last time we were here. Look, he's in real good form at the moment, is Jordan, number 23. Won our feature race here. Been fighting at the sharp end of most races now. It's good to see the Power Slide Racing Suzuki up there and fighting for the top 3 positions. Let's get the number 23 over the line. And there's a 128.653. Kick us off here in qualifying. I do apologise for the dreadful bike noises. Right there, we've now got a change at the top. APR Honda's Liam goes to the top of the times. Wasn't here yesterday, but is back with us today and raring to go. He's 88 points down on championship leader Connor. Really needs a big weekend, at least a double. Well, that's all he can get, actually, Seamus. Come on, wakey. A double is required from Liam this weekend, just like Dylan in Superbikes. Needs to take the big wins and the big points if he wants to stand a chance of taking the title. But we'll get on Superbikes when we get going with FP3. And we've got APR Honda circulating together. I'll tell you what, Charlie, I'll do you a favour here, mate. I'll get some screenshots. Never mind. Liam just gets a little bit wrong. Voice break, hello. Gets a little bit wrong through the gooseneck. Unlucky that for the number 44, but currently sitting top of the times. Right then. Oh, have we got a poll going on here? I think we have. I think one of the right-hand men here at SDPG. Oh, hello. Predict some channel points. There you go. Lovely stuff. Nice still. Fair play, mate. Thank you for that. So Vinny now to the top, 127.915. We had, what were the times yesterday? I think 26s last time we were here as well. It was George and Connor that fought it out for, excuse me, the win in the opening Super Sport race and the sprint race. It went down between those two, and George took his very first win of the season and with SDPG. But Connor's gone to the top then at 127.174, championship leader coming into this one. Let's see if he can maintain that form. Neil now up to P2, 127.876. Kaylin, if you're watching, mate, I will respond to your message after the stream. But yes, we may have Kaylin joining us back tomorrow, so that's going to be fantastic. We'll hopefully get Kaylin in the Super Sport class and see what he can do. Again, good to have him back. And George has gone to the top on a 127.073 on the Ami Electrics MV Augusta. Wow, the vote's really popping off. I'm liking that. In towards Park Corner then for the MV Augusta of George. Let's have a scroll down then to this young man who has just tipped off at the mountain and into Barn Corner. So, here you go, ladies and gents, a bit of an exclusive. If you did miss our Season 2 preview show, this will be the Mastermac ISM Honda. Isaac, if you're watching, mate, just confirm that is correct for me, if you can. We've got Leon back with us this weekend. Good to have Leon back with us, of course, a former BSB rider in real life and certainly a strong contender in the National Superstock Championship. Good to have a big name like Leon with us here at Cadwell Park. It is a 10th up through Sector 1. We'll keep an eye on his tyres. Good look at that time for Connor, 126 flat, nearly in the 125s. That is a phenomenal lap time. Goes a second faster than anybody else. Holy mackerel. Okay, well, 5 minutes into this one, and Connor's already laid down the benchmark here. Incredible stuff from the number 9. Looks fast in the Ducatis, looks fast here in the Super Sport class. Whew, well, he's going Superbike next season. Let's see what he can do. So let's go for a rundown then of the order, since we've got everyone set a lap time. Connor on pole, provisional pole position, ahead of George and Neil, rounding out row number 1. Neil's been doing well recently. We'll get on to Neil in just a second. Row 2, good run this from Vinny. Liam in P5, Jordan rounding out row number 2. Then we've got Hayden. Good to have Hayden back with us. Oh, he does a lovely headstand down towards Mansfield. Guy and Leon on the third row of the grid. Ash will be on the back row, unfortunately, due to not getting out in this session. Right, let's just get George over the line then. Over the line then for George. He does a 126.979. Great work that from the number 17. So let's have a look at this young man on screens, number 88. Connor's, look at that, he's done a lap and is now eating food. Good man, I like that. So this young man on your screens then, number 88, Neil. KRP Racing Yamaha is our latest winner here in the Super Sport class. Took the win at Snetterton in the feature race. Had a good battle with Scotty Tuhossi. Half a second was the gap between them as they crossed the line. It was a fantastic race and very good to watch as Neil now goes back onto the front row because Liam had just pipped him there on the APR Honda. Real important session this for Liam if he wants to stand a chance in this championship fight. It really could do to get up amongst Connor's time, but that's going to take some beating. A 126.0. Well, let's see whether George can get close on the Ami Electrics MV Augusta. It's one thing being fast over one lap, but can these riders do it in race trim? Well, we'll find out when these guys go racing tomorrow. The only session these guys have tonight is now, so we will not see the Super Sports out for the rest of the evening after this, but I'm sure they will be on top form and watching the runners and riders in their other sessions. Let's have a look then at Guy then. The Guy didn't have the best Snetterton, had a difficult start to the sprint race. I think he turned up late for that one and got going a little bit later than everybody else. So finished last in that one, but he was fighting up at... Oh, watch Jordan now has a huge moment through Hall Bends and saves it. But yes, good to have Guy with us, and I'm sure he will be fighting for the top positions this weekend. Guy's a very strong contender, and well, you could say any one of them could win it this weekend. Cadwell is one of them circuits. The harder you try, the slower you will go slower. And obviously you could quite easily make a mistake. I think that was George tipping off in the background. I think it might have been. Let's have a look then at Hayden. Good to have the number 7 back with us this weekend on the HPR Honda. Hayden's had a pretty good start to life here at SDPG. He started back in our R7 Cup. He's only taken a handful of podiums, but a very, very strong contender. Not been doing much riding recently, got other commitments outside of SDPG, like most of these riders have, so just not been able to put as much time in as he would like, but good to have the young man back with us this weekend. 6/10 up through sector number 1. Let's keep an eye on this lap then for the number 7. 6.5 minutes remaining of qualifying then for the Super Sport runners. Through Chris Kerr then goes Hayden in towards the gooseneck through the right and about to flick it into the left. Nice done, keeps it within track limits. Oh, just goes wrong side of the curb. Why didn't even move? Fair play to that Honda. Into the chicane, the Nadgery chicane. Very nicely done that from Hayden in towards the bottom of the mountain then. Oh, 8/10 up. What time's he done at the moment? Let's check. 1:28.9. So this will get him onto the second rope and keep this one going. In towards Hall Bends then. Stunning line that from Hayden. Oh, it just runs a bit wide through Hall Bends. That's going to mess his run through there. Oh no, he's not done a bad job there. Good job. Good salvage job that from the number 7 in towards Barn Corner. This will see him onto potentially the second row. He's going to take a good final sector over the line. Oh no, just goes to the head of the third row of the grid. Unlucky that for Hayden, but a good lap nonetheless. Very, very quick lap times from all of these riders at the moment. So we've got just over 5 minutes remaining of this one. Jordan's now jumped up into P5 on a 1:27.8. Let's have a look then at Liam through the chicane. Oh, just not quite coming easy for the number 44. He goes into the bottom of the mountain, 1.1 seconds off then through that sector. Over the mountain then for Liam. Oh, just gets that bit of motocross. Hey, we like that. We like that. Through Hall Bends then and into the hairpin for the number 44 machine. Looking good as he goes in towards Barn Corner now, and he'll go on to another flying lap. Only you're probably going about another, I want to say 3 or 4 laps in for Liam on this one. As over the line he goes and on to another flying lap. Whereabouts is Neil on circuit? Just coming through Barn Corner down the hill and he's about to head over the line. Now, what time does he do? 1:27.052, getting very close to George's time, so it's still Connor who's having his tea. Is currently on the pole position, nearly a second to the good. He's been exceptional since joining us as Connor. Through Mansfield then goes George and in towards the chicane on the number 17 machine. Great line that from George. This is going to be probably the MV's strongest circuit. That's, well, the strongest circuit that we've got left on the calendar, because there's not many long straights where the MV will lose out. Like we say, the MV's very good through the corners, just lacks a little bit of top end speed on the straights, but hopefully George will be able to have another good run this weekend. Did fantastic when we were here last time, so let's see whether he can do the same again here. 2/10 off on this lap, so he should get another couple in as he heads down towards the line now. I don't think this is going to be an improvement, is it? Not on that lap for George. Right there. Oh, I think he might have just improved ever so slightly. Right, Neil over the mountain. Let's get Liam in towards Barn Corner. 2.5 tenths off on this lap, so I don't think he is going to. I don't think he's going to improve on this one. Over the line he goes. I think he has actually improved in time there. 1:27.180, so he's not too far off the back of Neil. Here comes Jordan now in towards Barn Corner. A tenth up. How far behind him is he? Oh, he'll get closer. He will get closer. Down the hill and over the line then for Jordan. He does a 1:27.253. Does get closer indeed to Liam. Where's Hayden? There he is, going up towards Barn Corner now. 4/10 off the back of Jordan at the moment. In towards the braking zone of Park Corner. 90 degrees into the corner there. Flaming egg, that was impressive, Hayden. And backs out that one there through Chris Kerr. Let's have a look at Vinny then on the number 54 Honda in towards the gooseneck. What time's Vinny done? A 1:27.915. Looking very good on the 2021 HRC Honda, obviously. Into the chicane then for Vinny. Let's ride on board. Oh, with Vinny as he goes through the chicane. Very nice. Into the bottom of the mountain then. 10th up. And over the mountain. Yes, nice from Vinny. In towards Hall Bends then. And I pressed the wrong button. Through Hall Bends. Got Neil just up ahead of him. Oh, and Neil has tipped off there. Through Hall Bends. Superbike riders, get yourselves ready. Get yourselves stretched, warmed up, and everything else. It's only time for free practice 3 for the Superbike runners. And then it's only time for Super Pole. Over the line then goes Vinny, and looks like a new PB for Vinny on that lap. Let's have a look at Guy then in towards the hairpin. Oh, just runs a bit wide there, but keeps it on the tarmac. That's the main thing. Into barn corner. Oh, a bit of motocross involved there, but I like that. Down towards the line then goes Guy. No improvement on that lap. Leon then over the line at 129.857 for the number 55. Has improved his lap time there. Good to see. In towards Charlie's 2 then. He should be able to complete this lap. As he goes on his merry way up towards Park Corner. Well, let's have a look at George then as he goes through Hall Bends. Let's follow the end of this lap then in towards Barn Corner. 2/10 up, so he's going to just get a bit more of a gap between himself and Neil. I don't think he's going to trouble Connor here. We'll have a look. Over the line he goes now. 126.811, so he does just gain a few hundredths of a second there, and that is George's session done by the looks of it. Right, let's get Liam then in towards Barn Corner. Can he get himself onto the front row of the grid? No, he's on the back wheel. Over the line then goes Liam, and that's his session done as well. Jordan there in the middle of the second row of the grid then. In towards the bottom of the mountain, as checkered flag does now come out for the Super Sport runners. Whoa, that's not gone well. Slightly crossed up there for Jordan over the mountain, but he's A-okay and on his merry way. Well, hey, George getting back in it in nicely into Park Corner there. So, your grid looks like this, unless there's some fast laps coming in towards the end. It is Connor, George and Neil, your front row, with Liam, Jordan and Hayden on road number 2. Then we've got Vinny, Guy and Leon rounding out the grid, with Ash starting at the back of the grid due to not getting out in this session. A technical problem for the SDPG Racing Suzuki. So there we go then. Connor 8/10 to the good over everybody else. Wow, he could really do to slow down a bit. Right then, so there you go. Connor, George and Neil, your front row, with Liam, Jordan and Vinny row 2. And row 3, Hayden, Guy and Leon, with Ash rounding out the field in the Super Sport class. So there we go, ladies and gents. Let's put the light on. Let's have a light bulb moment, shall we? Ding, there we go. Right, nice. Okay, so it's time. Free practice 3 then for the SDPG British Superbikes in association with Exact Moves. Looking forward to this one. We have got some commentary notes. Look at that. Someone's done the homework for a change. So I'll bring you some well, no, not exclusive. No, that's wrong, that. Some information regarding what happened yesterday and the championship in general. Okie dokie. Right then, are we ready for some Superbike action? Superbike riders, your lobby is now up. Get yourselves in the lobby, chaps. 10 minutes up. Look at that, straight in. There you go. Dill's first win of the night. Straight in there. He don't mess about, does he? Right then, let's make sure we get the correct lighting for this one. There we go. Nice. Okay, look at this. So, just going to wait for... Oh, here's Jamie. Good to see. Hopefully Jamie's had a pint of Guinness, because that'll make him faster. Got Mason G in as well. Super Ted's late to the party. It's not like Ted, usually he's first in. Right. Okie dokie. Who are we missing here? We've got Dylan, Aaron, Brett. Just count Seamus, might be a good idea. 8, 9, 10. Oh, is Mason Rothen? Yeah, Mason Rothen. Right, let's go to the next screen. Jan's in as well. Lovely stuff. Okie dokie. Oh, fair enough, Jamie, mate. Fair enough. I think you should. Drinking on a school night's allowed, isn't it? Right, okie dokie. I don't think Joe's riding tonight. Let me just see if he's online. Don't think he is. No, so we haven't got Joe tonight. I think that's... Thank you, Ted, for that one. Just confirming that there's no front row Joe tonight. I didn't think there was. Hey, you never know, Jamie. Might make you faster, mate. You never know. You're very quick yesterday, but we'll get into those times in just a moment. So, 10 riders, super bikes tonight. Yeah, let's do it then. Right. Are we ready? Of course we are. SDPG British Superbikes in association with Exact Moves. Free Practice 3 is on the way next. And the green flag is out at the end of pit lane. We are on the way with Superbikes Free Practice 3, and we have got the return of Dylan tonight. Wasn't here yesterday, but he's raring to go tonight. So what happened yesterday in Free Practice 1 and 2? If you missed it, we had Jamie and Mason G topping the times. They both had a go at the top of each session. They're both in the low 124s. 124.1 I think was their fastest laps of the day. Very quick lap times indeed from the boys yesterday. The two Yamaha riders were looking very strong. So we'll see whether they can live with Dylan for the rest of this event. I'm sure they will, because Jamie and Mason G are looking very quick. There was some mind games going on yesterday, potentially with Mason G and Jamie. So we'll see what goes on today. Fingers crossed we don't have any incidents. As through the chicane then goes Yorkshire's top wreck. And let's get the right graphic on the screen as we see Dylan then through the bottom of the mountain. Big send. Yeehaw! Nice! He sent that good and proper, didn't he, the number one? Oh, let's follow. Stick to your traditions. Through Hall Bends then for Dylan and in towards the hairpin then. Dylan was very quick when we were last here. Ladies and gents, we had a win for Mason G and 2 wins for Dylan. And yes, we'll go through the individual results a little bit later. But a 124.819 to kick us off for Yorkshire's top rat. CS Auto's Ducati really does need a strong weekend this weekend. But Jamie instantly tops him with a new helmet for the remainder of this weekend. I believe this is inspired by a certain Rory McIlroy, who has taken the win at the, I think it's the Masters, correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, well done to Rory McIlroy. From all of us here at SDPG, I know that you watch every week, so congratulations on your win. Right, so Jamie at the top of the moment, ahead of Dylan with Mason G on the malted R5L Yamaha in P3 Super 10 in P4. Good to have Mason Roth back with us tonight as well. Mason Roth was actually on the podium in the final race we had here last time in P3. Can he replicate that result here tonight? Well, I'm sure he will be hoping so. Oh, as he tips off at Chris Kerr, just clips the grass and down he goes. Mason Roth was looking very good when we were last here inside that top 5. Really was pushing the boat out and looking good here last time we were here at Cadwell Park. Let's have a talk about the arcade BMW of Adam then, who has been in scintillating form recently. Whoa, look at that. What a send from Adam. I can tell you, ladies and gents, we have got the Pathway Championship points right in front of me. So, in Pathway, we've got Charlie, who is topping that one on 424 points. Adam is in P2 on 381 points, and Jan is in 3rd on 329. Christian, who is... I don't know where Christian is at the moment, actually, ladies and gents. Well, he is in P4 on 270 points. So that's the Pathway standings. And Adam has been in scintillating form, had a 3rd, 4th and a 5th place finish. at Snetterton, so he will be hoping to replicate some good form here this weekend. Let's have a look then. Let's have a look at Charlie on the SDPG Racing Honda. Like we just said, our Pathway Championship leader. Moving up to the CS Autos Ducati squad for Season 2. And Brett's now got up to P3. We'll talk about Brett in just a moment. As over the line then goes number 24 and on to another lap. Let's actually have a quick word about Brett's then, who took another step closer to the title back at Snetterton. He now leads the championship by 54 points ahead of Dylan, who in turn is 10 points clear of Super Ted, who lies P3 in the standings. So, very tight between second and third, but what this young man needs to do, Dylan, needs to win all 3 races and just hope for some bad luck for his teammate Brett. But that's going to be difficult because this young man is just in scintillating form. Out the 24 races we've had so far, ladies and gents, he's been on the podium in 23 of them. Mr. Consistent is Ashby's finest, and he will be difficult to stop now. And will that number 1 plate be going to the other side of the CS Autos Ducati garage for Season 2? Well, we will find out when we get towards the end of the season. So, Mason G still in P4. Super Ted is just keeping out of the way over the mountain, and he'll go on the way. There's Charlie just up ahead of him. There's one of the Ducatis coming over the mountain. Through the whole bends and in towards the hairpin, then goes Super Ted. Right, let's have a look then at Aaron on the Exact Moves Kawasaki. Oh, as he tips off at Barn Corner, the number 92. Just slides off the Kawasaki, the big ZX-10. Aaron really has had a good season, though the results might not show it. 124.609 for Dylan has gone fastest in this session. The results don't show. This is where Aaron and Jan are very similar. So they've had some brilliant races. Mason G, 124.4 now goes to the top. These guys have had some scintillating races, some good races. They've been up the front. Oh, quite a few races. They just dropped back though through various things, just maybe a couple of mistakes, or just getting caught up in other people's mistakes. But both Aaron and Jan have ridden very well up towards the front end of quite a few races and fighting there for a good few laps and holding their own, which just not quite worked out in the end result. But we'll keep an eye on those guys. They will, I'm sure they will come good before the end of the season and get a scintillating result. Right, let's go to the top of the times then, because it is all changing at the moment. Mason G on top at the moment, 124.410 on the Malton R5L Yamaha. Ahead of the RD Racing Yamaha of Jamie, 124.534. CS Autos Ducati of Dylan, 124.609. Brett is currently on a 124.960. Then there's a little bit of a gap back to Super Ted, 125.8 for Ted. Adams on a 126.0. Mason Roth's on a 126.0 as well in P7. Charles on a 126.9, 127.2 for Aaron and Johnson on a 127.3. Well, this young man on screen lies 4th in the standings. Oh, he tips off there at the hairpin. Very easy to do. Mason G has had a pretty good season, to be fair. The rounds he's turned up for, he's had quite a few commitments outside of SDPG. Ted's now got to P4, 124.816 for the Super 1. So Mason G has not attended every race due to commitments outside of SDPG, but he still lies P4 in the standings. 96 points, though, down on Super Ted. And with this round commencing, ladies and gents, from the first race later, the points get ramped up. It will be the traditional format: 25 points for a win, 20 for second, 16 for third, all the way down to 1 point for 15th place. So all these points are going to be very crucial when we go when we get to the end of the championship. And it's all, look at this, it's topping and tailing. At the top of the times, 124.391 for Jamie on the RD Racing Yamaha. Top of the times ahead of Mason G with Dylan in P3. Super Ted in towards all bends he goes. We'll just finish this lap with Ted, and he's just got the wrong side of the curb through all bends and in towards Barn Corner. Charlie leaves the pits. Oh, good save that from Ted. That looked a little bit uncomfortable. Down towards the whoa, dearie me! The pit wall jumped out at him. The pit wall jumped out at Ted. That is not on. Right, that's that red card. Ted saying sorry. It's all right, mate. You can apologise to the wall, son. Oh dear, he's giving himself 20,000 euros worth of damage. Okay, right. 2/10 up is Jamie then over the mountain and in towards. Whoa, what a time from Mason G. 124.091. I was just about to say Jamie could go to the top of the times then. With this lap in towards the hairpin, we've got just shy of a minute remaining of FP3. I tell you what, this is going to be close. Jamie looks like he's going to go to the top of the times then, down towards the line. Dylan's now got it to P2. Jamie over the line at 124.031. He does go to the top of the times by 600ths of a second. Mad to think that Dylan is on a 124.1 and is third. That is incredible pace. I don't want to say this, but maybe a 123 might be the pole time. But with Super Pole, there is a slight twist. So we will tell you a little bit more about that when we get going with the Super Pole session. A little bit later on. Jan's moved up to P8 then on a 126.310. Good luck that from Jan. Mason G over the mountain. Right, let's go for a rundown then with 30 seconds to go. We've got Jamie, Mason G, Dylan, Ted, Brett in P5. I'm sure he won't be too disgruntled with that. 5 riders in the 124s. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. Mason Roth up to P6 on a 125.4. Great lap that from Mason. Charlie in P7. Adam in 8th. Aaron in P9, and somehow with Jan's dropped to the back, even though he's done a 126.3, which is absolutely rapid round here, I can tell you now. And checkered flag is now out for free practice 3 for the Superbike runners. Oh, here we go, ladies and gents. Are we ready for some nervous action? Oh, yes, we are. Whew. Super Pole is up. Yes, Jamie, you get it on the back wheel, son. Yes, we like that. Oh, dear, and he's overdone it. Too many Guinness. Not enough Guinness for Jamie on this occasion. So Jamie, Mason G and Dylan is the top 3 with Super Ted, Brett, Adam. Adam gets up to P6. Mason Roth in 7th, Charlie in 8th, Aaron in 9th, and Jan rounding out the field in P10. So there we go, free practice 3 then is all done and dusted. Look at that! Between the top 3, there's less than a 10th of a second. Right, okay. Oh, I love this job. Right, okay. It is now time, ladies and gents, for Super Pole. Now, if you don't know what Super Pole is, the riders will go out one by one, and they will go out and set their fastest lap. If they fall off on their fastest lap, then they will not be able to continue. If they do, they'll be disqualified from the session and will start from the back of the grid. So that's just a reminder, riders. Do not rejoin if you take a spill. The grid order for any fallen riders will be decided later on. We've got a process for that. Do not panic, ladies and gents. Right. So I will read out the order in just a second as to how the riders will be going out. I know what I'm going to do. I've had a brilliant idea. Superbike riders, get yourselves in the lobby. Mason G first in this time. He's raring to go after that. There we go. So, the order as to which the riders will go out. It will be Jamie out first, and it will be Jan. We've got no Joe, so there'll be a gap there. And then we've got Aaron, Mason Roth, Adam, Charlie, Mason G, Ted, Dylan, and Brett. So before each rider goes out, I will remind you of which rider is out next. Lovely stuff. I think Ted is psyching himself up or beating himself up. One or the other is raring to go. Right, what I'm going to do, just to make things pretty simple, we'll put them in the order that I've got them down on my bit of paper. Hooray for Seamus. Whew. I'm actually quite nervous for these guys. Riders, good luck in this session. This is not going to be easy. I am going to put a bit of pressure on it, but last time we were here for Super Pole, it was Super Ted that topped the times, and that was in our very first series. I can see the eyes burning in the side of my head. Now I have said that. Aaron there will... So, don't realise it. You cannot see my screen, but riders, don't panic. I'm just doing this just so it makes it... I don't know. Just, yeah, looks good, really. If this actually works and it puts them in the order that I've done, I'll just be ecstatic with glee. I am a very, very happy young man today. Right. Brett and Dylan, wrong way round. There we go, bosh. Right, ladies and gents, it's time for Super Pole then for the SDPG British Superbikes in association with Exact Moves. Do not worry, we will not start any laps until you're back. Let's go. Right, we're back. Why did I do it? That's just weird. That is weird. Right, okay, I do apologise. Apologise, ladies and gents. Yeah, I've got screw loose. Right, okay, Jamie. Let's go, son. You're out first. Right, here we go. Are we ready for a scintillating lap from Jamie? Yes, we are. There we go. There is a bit of a delay between the stream and the live action, so do not panic, ladies and gents. The riders have not forgotten or not listening. There's just a delay. Right, here we go then. He has topped most sessions this weekend. Can he top this one? Let's go. Through Coppice then for Jamie. Just keeps it in the middle of the road. That's a safe approach. Nicely done. Through Charlie's and in towards Charlie's too then. On towards the Park Straight then. Down towards Park Corner. So the order in which Super Bowl riders will go out is in reverse championship order. So if you walk towards the back of the championship, then you will go out first. Towards the front, you'll go out last. Simple as. So unfortunately, Jamie's not managed to get into many races this season. Got into a few more, so hopefully he will be able to get into all three this weekend. And well, keeps up this pace, he will be one to watch on the RD Racing Yamaha. Tidy lap so far from the number 86 in towards Mansfield. Nicely done. And in towards the chicane, then got to be careful not to take too much curve through the... Oh, he's just about kept on it. In towards the bottom of the mountain then. Through the left, through the right, and over the mountain for the RD Racing Yamaha. Whoa! He got some air then. In towards Hall Bends. It's been a good lap so far from Jamie. Apexes have been absolutely annihilated. Look at that, using all the road. Keeps it within track limits, so this has been a great lap from the number 86. In towards Barn Corner then. Jan, let's go, buddy, with your lap. Right then, over the line then for Jamie. He does a 124.612, and that is a good benchmark for these riders. Right, the Enham Floor BMW machine of Jan is out. Let's see what the Italian stallion excuse me, can do. Here we go then, in towards turn number 1 for Jan. Just runs a little bit wide, that's absolutely fine. Keeps it within track limits. Better off just running a little bit wide, cost yourself a little bit of time, than crashing and being potentially at the back of the grid, right down towards Park Corner then for the number 57, a 20.0 first sector in towards Park Corner then. Nicely done. Great stuff using some of the curve there for Jan, just keeps it within track limits. Nicely done. Into the Chris curve then for Jan. Looked like just got out of the power a little bit early, but that's okay. That's okay. Through the gooseneck, through the right, through the left. Oh, just clips the grass, but nicely done. In towards Mansfield. Tidy lap so far from Jan. In towards the chicane then. Oh, it looks like just missed that apex ever so slightly. In towards the bottom of the mountain then for the number 57. Through the left, through the right. Other way round. Over the mountain, nicely done. Keeps both wheels on the floor. Into Hall Bends. Oh, he keeps it just about on the tarmac. Right, let's get Jan in towards Barn Corner. Aaron, let's go with your lap, please, buddy. Through Barn Corner then for Jan, down towards the line. Well, he's done the first thing. He's kept it upside down. 1:27.2. Great lap from Jan. Perfect. That's all he needs to do. Right then, exact moves, Kawasaki. Let's go with Aaron. Here we go then. Down towards. Sorry, up towards Coppice then for Aaron. All runs a bit wide. Clips crash. Down he goes. Aaron has dropped the exact moves, Kawasaki. Mason Roth, you're up, buddy. Whoa, that was unlucky that for Aaron. Just carried a bit too much speed. Clipped the grass and down he went. That is unlucky for the number 92. Right, HPR Honda. We've got Mason Roth up next, ladies and gents. Let's see what Mason can do on this one. Like we say, got on the podium, was running very strongly here last time through Coppice. Mason's also tipped off now at Coppice, and that is all she wrote. So no more running for Mason Roth in this one. Right, Adam, you're up next, buddy. So the arcade BMW is up next. Well, the key thing here is staying on the machine and not tipping off. It's very difficult to do round Cadwell. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough. This is the most difficult circuit. I've been quite cruel actually doing a Super Bowl round here, but I'm sure the riders won't hate me too much. It's towards Coppice then for Adam on the arcade BMW. Nicely done, not clipping the curb. You clip the curb at Coppice, it is very easy to crash. Right, on towards the park straight then for the number 4. Like we're saying, good form recently, so let's see whether he can keep this up. Line second at the Pathway Championship, so we're looking to beat Charlie here and just try and get, well, gain a few points on his championship rival. Through Chris Curve then for Adam so far. Only 2 people have set a lap time, Jamie and Jan. The pressure of Super Bowl is immense and it is telling. Oh, Adam just goes wrong side of the curb there. Through Mansfield he goes and in towards the chicane. Nicely done from Adam. In towards the bottom of the mountain, 56.4. This will challenge Jan's time over the mountain then. Nicely done for Adam. Into Hall Bends, good stuff that from the number 4 arcade BMW. Into Hall Bends then, into the hairpin. Tidy lap from Adam. Charlie, you're up next. Let's have you out. Thank you, buddy. Please and thank you. There we go. Through Barn Corner, down towards the line. Where's this going to put Adam? Will he go ahead of Jan? He will. 1:26.554 for Adam. He goes ahead of Jan. Right, we've got the SDPG Racing Honda of Charlie. Let's go, Charlie. Let's see what he can do. In towards Coppice then goes the number 24. He'll be looking to keep, well, retain the lead in the Pathway Championship. So 1:26.5 is the time he's got to beat to get into the top Pathway seat. As down towards, up towards Park Corner goes Charlie. 19.9, that is a good first sector. That was quicker than his 2 Pathway rivals through Park Corner. In towards Chris Curve, looking good at the moment is Charlie through Chris Curve. Nicely done, not using too much of the road. That's good, that's conservative. We like that. Certainly on a Super Bowl lap, the pressure is immense. Oh, I say that. Charlie using maybe a little bit too much of the road there. Oh, he runs wide at Mansfield though. Keeps it within track limits through the chicane for the number 24. Nicely done. That's tidy so far. 56.2. This will be close between himself and Adam over the mountain. For Charlie, 4 more runners left to go. Through Hall Bend. Nicely done for the SDPG Racing Honda rider. On the power down towards Barn Corner. Mason G, you are up. Can you get yourself out on track, please, mate? Through Barn Corner and down towards the line. For Charlie, over the line he goes. He does. 1:26.351. He goes P2 on the times. And he's gone into P1 in the Pathway class. Good job that from Charlie. Great lap. Absolutely brilliant. Right, here we go. Have we got the battle for pole position between Mason G and Jamie? Let's find out. Here we go then. Mason G on his flying lap. Let's see what the Malton R5L Yamaha rider can do. I am expecting a good time here from Mason G through Charlie's 2. on the power, down towards, up towards Park Corner. 19.6 first sector, that's pretty competitive. In towards Park he goes. Oh, he runs a bit wide. That will cost him some time. More importantly, he has kept it rubber side down. Oh, he's pushing on this lap, is Mason G. Through the gooseneck. Oh, looks like he's made a mistake there at the gooseneck. Well, he's kept it going. He has kept it going. Oh, he's wide at Mansfield. Oh, this could be handing this one too. No, he's down. Mason G is down at the chicane. Ted, you're all right. Well, drama then here in Superpole. The pressure is immense. And well, we've got 3 riders left. Let's see what they can do. Unlucky that for Mason G. Let's see what Super Ted can do then. Let's see. Through Coppice, he goes in towards Charlie's. Nicely done for the number 34 Super Ted. Brilliant stuff. On towards the Park straight then. Managed to get in the 124s and FP3. Can he do the same here? A 19.5. That is quicker than Mason G's first sector. Into Park Corner. Nice. That was brilliant from Ted in towards Chris Curve. Like we say, just one mistake as we've just seen there can really affect things. Oh, Ted on the white line there into the gooseneck. Nice. Solid stuff that from Ted down towards Mansfield. Brilliant line that from Ted. Very important here. Just not to squeeze the brake too hard. That's okay. That's good from Ted. Let's see, in towards. This is a good lap from Ted through the bottom of the mountain. I think that's quicker than Jamie's sector time. Nice over the mountain. In towards Hall Bends. Nice. In towards the hairpin then for Ted. Just one more corner to negotiate. Dill, let's go with your lap, buddy. This is going to be close between Ted and Jamie then. Here we go. Down towards the line. Where's Ted going to go? It's pole! Provisional pole for Ted at 124.604. He has robbed it from Jamie at the die. Whoa, what a lap! No disrespect, Ted. Did not expect that, son. Right, here we go. Let's see. Oh, Dylan's off the track at Coppice. Oh, he's okay, though. He is okay. Holy mother of God. Right, I do apologise, ladies and gents, for blowing your eardrums out there, but that was a great lap from Ted. Here we go, then up towards Park Corner for Dylan. A few tenths off at the moment, but he will probably be able to gain that back if he just keeps his head. Oh, he's gone tight into Park. He has gone tight into Park Corner through Chris Curve for Dylan. In towards the gooseneck then for Dill. He could really do with a good sector here on the Panigale. He's looking good. He looks a bit, I'm going to say scrappy, but lively I think we'll go for. Whew, in towards the chicane then for the CS Autos Ducati rider. A 55.0 was Ted's sector time. Let's keep an eye on the time popping up. Oh, he's matching it. He's matching it. Here we go. Through the mountain then. Oh, he's on the grass. He's on the grass. Through Hall Bends then. Oh, he's wide there. He is wide as Dill. Oh, this is going to be close. In towards the hairpin then for the number 1. A 15.80's off Ted's time. Brett, you're up next, buddy. Get yourself out on track, please, mate. Right, where's Dylan going to go then? Is he going to be Paul? He goes third by a few hundredths of a second. What a session. Here we go. The final rider, your championship leader. Let's see whether Brett can take the pole position away from Super Ted. In towards Charlie's then goes the number 52. We know what happened at Brands Hatch. We thought Jamie had it, but Brett robbed it right at the end of 20.0. That is a bit off Ted's first sector time. Through Park Corner, Brett is wide. Brett is wide. That looks like it could be Ted's at this point. Through Chris Curve. Oh, dearie me. Through the gooseneck then for Ashby's Finest, down in towards Mansfield. Oh, he's pushing the absolute limits of the Ducati then. Through the chicane he goes. What's the next sector time? He's been on the grass at 56.3. I think he's done with that. I do not think this is going to be good enough for pole position. Looks like, oh, big moment. I think he's done with that. Let's see where Brett will end up in the standings. Through Hall Bends and in towards the hairpin. Oh, a huge moment. And he's gone wide. The championship leader then not had the best of laps. It's a pole position for Ted. I cannot see Brett gaining 2 seconds in a straight. Over the line then for Ashby's finest. Where does he go? He goes P6. It's a pole position for Super Ted. Ted takes pole position in Super Pole here at Cadwell Park. Well, I tell you what, he's got no excuses now here at Cadwell, has he? That's twice he's done that. What a lap that was for him. Look at how tight that is at the top. Ted, Jamie and Dylan, your front row. That is a strong front row. Charlie, Adam and Brett, row number 2, with Jan, Aaron and Mason Roth on row number, excuse me, on row 3. Mason G rounding out the runners and riders in that one. What a session, ladies and gents. It's so good, I forgot to put the cap on. What a dingleberry. Well, I do apologise then, gents, for blowing your eardrums out. That is not very kind of me. I do apologise. What a session. Anyone else love Super Bowl? Yep. I can now tell you, ladies and gents, that we'll be seeing more Super Bowl in Season 2. 6 rounds will be at 6 Super Bowl. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. There'll be 6 Super Bowl rounds throughout the season. That's better. Why don't you just say that, Seamus? Absolute dingleberry. So there you go. More Super Bowl in Season 2. We will see the Superbike riders out after this session because we have got the SDPG Ducati Monster 1200 Cup. Whew. First of all, I'd just like to say a big well done to all Superbike riders, whether you got a lap in or not. Ducati Monster riders, your session is now up. That was not easy, and the pressure of Super Pole, I'm glad I don't do it. That's all I'm gonna say, because I'd sink like the Titanic. Not gonna lie, I've just stolen that from you, mate. Sorry, mate. I'm just gonna have a quick drink, ladies and gents. Back with you in a second. Refreshing. Like we say, we're going for a Pepsi advert. Other fizzy drinks are available. Right, hang on a sec. Backfire. Malt-head caps. Get yourself a malt-head cap. There you go. Precision stitching. Good quality. Is the absolute nuts. So there you go. Malt-head caps, speak to Super Ted if you want a malt-head cap. They are getting in some new stock in the coming weeks. So there you go. Speak to Ted for a malt-head cap. Yes, Jan, you can join, buddy. That is absolutely fine. Oh, dearie me, I've got a sweat on. I've got to sweat. Get the fan plugged in. That might be a good idea, dipstick. Hang on, give me a minute. This is my #1 fan. Hey, look at that. Dinky, but powerful. No, don't say that again. You dirty old dog, right. Sorry, give me a minute. Hang on. Bear with. Right, okie dokie. Bear with. Let's go to the next screen. Right, hang on. Turn that on. Ready? That's not. That is good, that. That is a good quality fan. Pound shop, I think. I can't actually remember. Home bargains. I got it from a shop. Got it from a shop many moons ago. When I were a lad. Ah! Oh, I tell you what. Hang on. What does flag player do? Cheating, grieving, unsportsmanlike behaviour, harassment. Sorry, you guys can't see my screen. I'm not going to say anything to that, but I'm sure some people will know where my mind has gone there. Right, okie dokie. So, we have 8 riders lined up for the Ducati Monster 1200 Cup. We will get into what happened last time out and the championship standings when we get going with this session, which is on the way next. STPG Ducati Monster voice break. 1200 Cup action is on the way next. Let's go. Guess who's back? Back again. Don't sing, you pillock. Right, let's go. We have Ducati Monster. Cough, cough, 1200 cup action. And we have got a couple of wild cards in this one. Looks like Charlie is back to do some more rounds with us. That is good. Was with us at Snetterton. Let's not forget those Jets. Managed to get on the podium. Got a second place, actually, in that one. So he did a fantastic job. Did Charlie. We've also got Jan joining the grid this weekend. Good to see Jan diving into the Ducati Monster 1200 Cup. And let's not forget, ladies and gents, this class is being replaced at the end of this season. When we make the transformation into BSEC, we will be having a bit of a switch up. We're going to have a Ducati V2 Cup. So they are the Panigale, the little, what should we say, little sister? No, the sister bike to the V4. Just a twin cylinder and a little less power, but it's a lovely bike to ride, and they will be featuring instead of this class when we get going with Season 2. Right then, let's get this one underway. And coming into this round, ladies and gents, it is match point to Connor in this one. 81 points is his advantage, and well, all he has to do is not necessarily beat Liam, but he has to finish behind him, just directly behind him, position of 2 behind him, and the championship is his. No matter what Liam does, if Connor wins, title is his. So match points for the number 9, as we've got Charlie briefly went to the top with Mason G 126.744 goes to the top of the times. Now for credit to all these riders, actually, I mean certainly the superbike riders jumping straight off their superbikes head onto these Ducatis. They're a little bit different to the superbikes, if you can't tell. I mean, what gives it away? Sure, the no bodywork, the tit. Okay, right. Okie dokie. So, Mason G top of the times at the moment, ahead of Charlie and Jordan, your front row at the moment. We've got Guy, Jan there in P5, ahead of Adam, with Connor in P7 and George in P8. But early times are on the board. So we've got Mason G now through Mansfield in towards the chicane, the number 28. Whoa! That got a little bit lively. Charlie's just gone through the chicane there and in towards the bottom of the mountain. We've got quite... Whoa! That was a good, good mountain section for Jordan there. Through Hall Bends and in towards the hairpin for the number 23. Nice done. In towards Barn Corner, 4/10 up at the moment. This will see him into the 127.5 bracket if he can keep this one going over the line. 127.341. He did improve on that lap. Good lap that from Jordan, not too far off the top time. Charlie has parked it at the hairpin. I think maybe a recalculating route. Recalculating route. Sorry, Charlie. As we see a guy now on the screen there through Charlie's, and he heads up towards Park Corner. Who's gone up into P2? It is George, and Connor goes to the top, 126.657. Will he win the championship with a race win? Well, yeah, he's looking good for that at the moment. Jan then through the Gooseneck and in towards Mansfield. As we've got Adam on your screens now, very close in the... I say I've done homework. I've run out of time to do homework on the Ducatis, but I think Adam is in 3rd in the championship. 3rd or 4th anyway. He's not too far off P2 Liam, so I think that battle will be going on right the way to the end of this season. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gents. After this, we have got the first Superbike race of the weekend, and we're going to have an early finish tonight, ladies and gents. We should be done for 9 o'clock. That sounds like a plan. Through Hall Bends then goes Adam. Let's keep an eye on him as he goes through the hairpin. And now Adam's one of these riders that will usually pop in a fast lap right at the end of the session. When you think it's all said and done, Adam will go top. Oh, Mason G's gone to the top, 126.165. Adam does a 127.345. So a very competitive lap time that from the number 77 as he goes through Charlie's now and on his merry way. Let's get George now over the line. no improvement in position for George on that one. Again, George has been dogged with issues, unfortunately, for the Ducatis. Just not managed to do as many races as he would have liked, but I'm sure with a bit of luck, and we all have a pray for George, he will be able to get out for the racing here at Cadwell Park. Right then, so let's get situated. Lovely stuff. So it is Mason G on the top, half a second clear at the moment, ahead of Connor, with George in P3 rounding out row number 1. Then we got, oh, here we go, we've got Jordan and Mason G on track together. We have indeed. Jordan, Adam and Guy, your second. That was an interesting angle. And then we've got Charlie and Jan rounding out the runners and riders in this one. I think this is literally some of Jan's first ever laps on this bike, so fair play, doing a cracking job on the Ducati. Charlie then through copies. We've got a hell of a group here. Who have we got there? Oh yeah, screenshot! We've got Jordan, Mason G and right, tell you what. Look at that! Screenshot! If Mason G keeps that on the track, I'll pay him a tenner. a smidgen wide there for Mason G on that one. Well, I mean, it was ambitious, and I like it. It just didn't quite work. Right then, Jordan and Guy down towards Mansfield. Through Mansfield they go now. In towards the chicane. Let's see their next 6 times as they're about to pop up on your screen. Guy runs a little bit wide there. 10th off is Jordan on this lap, but should be able to gain that back if he absolutely nails these final couple of sectors. Over the mountain they go. And in towards Hall Bends. Through Hall Bends then. In towards the hairpin then. Let's see what the next sector time is going to say for Jordan. 2.5 tenths off on this occasion. Down towards the line. We did think this with Liam in Supersport a little bit early on, when we thought he wasn't going to go quicker, and he did. Right then, so no improvement there for Jordan on that lap. Right, who should we have a look at next? That is the question. Let's have a look at... Oh! Connor's bike cartwheeling. Very nice. Right, well, Connor then is off on his merry way. Doesn't have to do anything daft this weekend as George goes to the top, 126.113. Great lap that from George. Like we say, Connor doesn't have to do anything too silly. Doesn't need to be getting involved in any battles with the likes of Mason G and George, who are not directly involved in the championship hunt. Just a good solid finish from Connor will be enough to wrap the title up tomorrow night. And our first champion in SDPG Academy history, / BSEC history. There we go. Right, let's have a look then. Mason G coming up towards the mountain. Well, his bike's got over without him. That's rude. Unlucky that for Mason. Just clipped the curb on the inside and down he has gone. Let's have a look. Guy through all bends and in towards the hairpin. Let's have a look. Got Jordan up towards the line now. 126.709. He has gone up to P4 as Charlie has gone up to P6. Good luck that from Charlie. Let's get Guy over the line. Over the line then for Guy at 127.477. Charlie's bike's going without him. As Jan through Coppice in towards Charlie's number 27. Whoa, that was a humongous crash in the background. I think that was Mason G. It was indeed. Through Charlie's then and on towards the Park Straight for Jan. Let's see what his next sector time is going to be. Oh, 10th up for Jan on this lap. Whoa, gets the bike all out of shape. These bikes do look a little bit tricky to stop. So we've now got 5 riders in the 126 bracket. They are George, Mason G, Connor, Jordan and Adam in the 126s. And we've got a 127.2 for Charlie, 127.4 for Guy and a 128.5 for Jan. So he has improved his lap time. getting faster every lap. Good to see. In towards the chicane, through the right, through the left, on the power, no grass needed, very good. Into the bottom of the mountain, 2/10 up on this lap for Jan. Stunning looking machine that. For Jan, hey, nice! Oh dear, press the wrong button. Let's follow Jan then round this lap through Hall Bends and into the hairpin. Just runs a smidgen wide, that's okay. In towards Barn Corner, half a second up then for Jan. This will see him potentially into the 127s. Who's that shot up the order? I think that was Guy. 127.2 for Guy over the line for Jan. 127.9. He's into the 127 brackets. Great stuff. This is just why SDPG is so competitive. I mean, we've got less than a tenth covering the top 3 in Superbike. We've got, it's just madness. Just can't cope. Right, Mason G up towards the line. Control yourself, Seamus. And goes to provisional pole. 125.870. Holy mackerel. That is fast. Well done, Mason G on that lap. Good lap from Mason. Whoa! Connor's going broad sideways through Hall Bends. I like it. It's a different style. Had his tea and he's ready to rock and roll. See, now here we go. Should we start a debate? Tea or dinner? There you go. Debate it? Well, I'm just going to have a quick drink and I'll be back with you in a second. Sorry, ladies and gents, just getting a bit of a dry throat. That is not good for a commentator. Through Charlie's then for Connor, and he will go off on his merry way up towards Park Corner. It is nearly time for the first race of the weekend for the Superbike class. They will be going over 10 laps in about 10 minutes time. We will be underway with that one. So let's get Connor then through Chris Cove and in towards the Gooseneck then through the right, through the left. Jordan up into P. Whoa! Into P4 with Adam in P5. Let's just keep an eye on Connor though. Into the chicane. Nicely done. For the number 9 in towards bottom of the mountain. 3/10 off on this lap, so I doubt he'll improve, but you never know. Got a good style over the mountain. Fair play. We'll give him credit on that one. Let's have a look then at number 23 of Jordan in towards the chicane. Took a bit of a tight line there, but it works. He's got round. That's most important. Just shy of a 10th off through sector 2 for Jordan. Nicely done over the mountain in towards Hall Bends. Through the right, through the left, then back over to the right, then back over to the left, and then back over to the right again. Down in towards Barn Corner, a 10th off for Jordan on this lap. Over the line then for Jordan, 126.976, no improvement. So we'll go for a rundown of the order. Well, we've got Mason G on the top, ahead of George and Connor, your provisional front row. Oh, look, we're out together. That's nice. Jordan, Adam and Guy, your second row. And we've got Charlie, who's stopped at the mountain. I just saw a bike just go pinging across the bottom of the screen there. And we've got Jan, who on his first ride out, it's not far off at all. So a very good run this from Jan. And he's only half a second off. Is the Italian stallion Gianluca? There we go. Right. He owes me a 5 for saying that. I don't know. I don't quite have an Italian accent, so it's just not going to quite work. Anyway, Mason G over the line on the back wheel. Let's see what George and Connor can do then. Will George tow Connor around to a fast lap? Well, we are going to find out when the checkered flag comes out in 37 seconds time. Down towards Mansfield they go. Oh, kind of looked like he was going in a little bit too hot. Fair play, he stopped it. He has stopped it in towards the chicane. For these. Oh, George has tipped off there. Let's try and get Connor's sector time. Oh, he's 700ths off. Through sector 2. Nicely done. Over the mountain goes the number 9 into Hall Bends. Brilliant stuff. I don't think anyone's going to beat Mason G's time. Well, checkered flag then is about to be shown for this session, and checkered flag is indeed out for the SDPG Ducati Monster 1200 Cup runners. Connor then over the line. Where's this going to put him? He goes. He stays P3, but improved his time. So then it is Mason G, George and Connor. That is your front row of the grid with Jordan, Adam and Guy on row number 2. And then we've got Charlie and Jan rounding out the runners and riders in this one. Good run that though from Jan. Literally first time on the bike just then. So fair play. Well, you did what you needed to do there, Connor, mate. 4/10 off pole, but you just got to have a good result in this one, mate, and you will be champion tomorrow. So we will take a screenshot of those times and we'll final run down then. Mason G, George and Connor row number 1, Jordan, Adam, Guy row 2, and then we've got Charlie and Jan rounding out the runners and riders in that one. Shh, whisper. There we go. Right. Do you know, I can't say they wrestled the pig, Connor, so I don't really know whether that's difficult. I presume it will be, but... Shut up, Sean, you sarky... You know what. Right, okie dokie. Let's do this then. 10 laps of Superbike action on the way next. And if you missed Super Pole earlier, you will have missed the fact that Super Ted got to pole position. Narrowly beating Jamie, and who they both narrowly beat Dill. There we go. So, let's see what these riders can do. Superbike riders, lobbies up, let's go! Right, let's put the weather on dark. Let's have it raining. Joking. I'm so cruel. Yeah, I'll give it a go, Connor, actually. I'll give it a go. Right, let's get the grid order. Let's get the grid order up then for the Super bikes. I've got some screenshots in the Ducati session. Lovely. Right, so I'm going to stop saying that before people shout at me and we lose viewers. Right, so got the grid order up in front of me. Yeah, we're all right with that. Oh, of course, imposters. Just go away, imposters. We don't want them. I mean, it's nice that we're getting interest, but, you know. Right, okay. Super Ted on the pole position. Then we've got Jamie in P2. Dylan rounding out row number 1. Where's Del? There he is. Then on row 2, we've got Charlie, Adam, and Brett. Lovely. Then we've got Jan, Aaron, Mason, and Mason. There we go. 50 grand, Charlie. If you've got 50 grand, I can make it absolutely harpoon it down. So I'm sure you're noticing now, every time money comes up, I always mention 50 grand. Well, 50 grand just solves everything, doesn't it, really? It just gets you out of a bit of debt, you know, new car, go racing for a round, you know, just stuff like that, with me on board anyway. Right, okie dokie. Are we ready then? Well, if you're not, tough, we're going. And it's time then for the first race of the... excuse me, of the weekend. The first of the showdown races. Here we go. Points are ramped up. Points are precious here in the Superbike class. Well, let's go. Time for SDPG British Superbikes in association with Exact Moves. Race number 1, 10 laps on the way next. Pirelli live tyre update. Yes, we have got the tyre information in, ladies and gents. Let's see what everyone's gone for. We've got medium soft then for all the top 7. Aaron's gone for a medium. Mason Ross still pondering. Ah, there we go. We've got the 2 Masons on medium soft. That was pretty simple. Good. Good luck, chaps. Let's have it then. Go hard or go home. No, I'm not saying that again. Right, moving on before that gets awkward. Let's go racing then. 10 laps at Cadwell Park. I'm going to try and keep everything in check. Let's go! Yay! Right, MSV still haven't sorted their lights out. I swear to God, we will have a refund of a lot of money before the end of this season. Right then, can Super Ted get his first win in a lot of races? Let's find out then. Let's go racing! And we are trying to get the right camera angle. That's a good start from Ted. Good start from Brett as well from row number 2 into turn 1. Jamie takes the lead ahead of Ted as everyone got round cleanly. Oh, there was a couple of fallers down in the back. I think that was Adam and Jan that have gone down there in the back. Oh! Who was that? I think that was Aaron and Dylan getting caught up in other people's mistakes there. And it was indeed a bad start for Dylan. He does not need this because he has to get wins now. The wins is what the number 1 needs if he wants to stay in this title hunt. Well, there is a long way to go. 10 laps at Cadwell Park. This is a hell of a long race. But we've got the 2 Yamahas out front with Ashby's finest hot on their heels. Number 52, Brett. Excuse me, your championship leader. Currently sat in P3 and lurking. Right, Jamie then through the chicane, runs a bit wide. Oh, contact between himself and Ted there. Oh, look, good start from Mason G. Apologies, Mason. Up to P5. Look at this lot. Holy moly. Brett then looking down the inside into all bends. That's not going to work. Charlie's hot on the heels. Mason G's looking threatening though. Let's keep an eye on Mason G as they run in towards the hairpin for the first time. Oh, look at that. Brett was slow through the hairpin there. Looked like that caught Charlie a little bit by surprise. And Mason G and Charlie still going at it as they cross the line to start the second of 10 laps in towards turn 1 they go then. And again, I have pressed the run button. Mason Roth not too far behind either as Charlie runs wide at Charlie's and has just given Mason G the opportunity to slip up to P4. Right, Mason now is going on the attack and looking to close the gap to Brett on this one. But Ted is still keeping the pressure on Jamie out front. Jamie runs a little bit wide. Ted takes a nice line bit of contact there between the pair of them. That is A-OK. Rubbins racing, as they say. Ted's looking very strong here on the Malted R5L Yamaha. Ted did take a podium here in the second race in the previous round. But look at this lot, ladies and gents. Let's ride on board with our championship leader. Let's get a screenshot for the Grammars in towards the chicane then. Good line that from Ted. Looks like Jamie may have gone in a little bit tight there, a little bit too hot. And that just gave Ted a bit of a sniff and an opportunity. Press the run button again. Over the mountain they go. Look at that. Oh, Ted's got a great run there on Jamie into Hall Bends. That's not going to work. Look at this. Oh, there's a bit of argy-bargy through Hall Bends. Let's get a screenshot quickly before this goes a bit peaked on. And Brett's out up to second, but Ted will reach. No, there's contact between the pair of them, and down has gone Ted on that one. Unlucky that for Super Ted. Right, it's now 3 up the front. Jamie, Mason G and Brett is your top 3. Charlie still in P4. Let's just keep an eye on Brett here. Looks like he's eyeing up a move here on Mason G. Keep this clean, lads. Keep it clean. Through Charlie's then down towards up towards Park. I should get that right. Into Park Corner then. 2 Yamahas versus the Ducati. Brett's coming in a little bit too hot there. Just gets it a smidgen wrong. Well, that's A-OK. We'll keep an eye on Dylan a little bit further back. He's now battling with Mason Roth. Looks like he may have got that wrong at Park Corner. As Mason G takes the lead from Jamie then. At our previous round here, Mason G did take the first win on the Monday. So let's see whether he could do the same again. He's already putting a little bit of time between himself and Jamie. There is a long way to go. Lap 3 of 10 though. On this one, Jamie has hit the deck then at the chicane. That's now helped Ted back up to P4. Well, Charlie in P3, I'm sure he will be looking for a good result here in this one because, well, he didn't have the best Snetterton. Struggled a little bit at Snetterton, but he's back with a vengeance here at Cadwell Park. Still a long way to go. Right, let's have a quick rundown of the order. Are we ready? Mason G leading ahead of Brett. Then we've got Charlie in third, Jamie in fourth, Ted in fifth, Mason Roth in sixth, Dylan about to take that, still in P7. Adam in eighth, Jan in ninth, battling with Aaron for the P9. Well, hey, that was very good. Right, okay, let's stop doing songs and let's carry on. So Mason G, that's unbelievable. A second and a half to the good then already. Currently lies in P4 in the standings. A good result here might just propel him up the order. Looks like Jamie has made a mistake a little bit further back. Dropped off the back of Ted on this occasion. Through Park Corner then goes the RD Racing Yamaha and the CS Autos Ducati of Dylan, who has now cleared Mason Roth. Through Chris Coven into the gooseneck. We'll keep an eye on that battle as we go throughout the race. And it looks like Ted's now closing the gap down to Charlie as Charlie makes a mistake there at Mansfield. That's just going to help the Super One close the gap in towards the bottom of the mountain. Then half a second is the gap. Let's see. Get Charlie over the mountain. Yeah! Both looking good over there. Oh! There's a mistake there from Charlie. Looks like he might have just got that a little bit wrong on takeoff and, well, it was on the grass there. But didn't want to do an unsafe rejoin and let Ted through. Good racecraft there and good presence of mind from the number 24. Right down towards the line then we go. Still Mason G leading this one at half race distance. Lap 5 of 10. Mason G leads ahead of Brett, who is still in, well, he's the championship leader. And with this result, if things stay the way they are, that is a big advantage for the rest to close. And I think with this result, it will be very close between Ted and Dylan going into tomorrow. So we will work out the points overnight and we will let you know tomorrow. Well, it's still Mason G, Brett and Ted, your top three. Moulton R5L, Yamaha first and third at the moment. Then we've got Charlie. Good ride this from Charlie. Excuse me, good to have Charlie back at the sharp end of the races where he belongs. Really has done a good job this season on the Honda. And well, he's really earning his CS Autos Ducati ride for Season 2. Through Mansfield he goes then. Whilst everything's just settled down, let's have a look at Jamie and Dylan battling for P5. A reminder, ladies and gents, the finishing position from this one, is where they will start race 2 tomorrow. And unfortunately, Jamie has tipped off there at the chicane. That's allowed Dylan through, and Adam now up to P6. And the battle of the path. Oh, Jamie looks good over there. The battle of pathways going the way of Charlie at the moment. Let's see then what happens as through Barn Corner they go down towards the line then for Super Ted. 2.5 seconds is the gap between himself and Brett. 2.7 seconds is the gap between Mason G and Brett. Let's have a look then at Mason through Charlie's on the power. Some people will be asking, myself included, what could Mason have done if he'd been able to do all the races? Well, he would have certainly been giving it to... Oh, Dylan's made a mistake. Would have been giving it to Brett, Ted and Dylan, that is for sure, and also Jamie as well. If he'd managed to get in all the races, that would have been, that would have been a hell of a championship. Well, hopefully we will have all these riders out. Oh no, we've got an issue for Dylan. Oh dear, the number 1 is in trouble. That could be, and that is looking like a retirement for the number 1. Yorkshire's top rat then is out of this one by the looks of it. The CS Autos Ducati rider has had no... And there he goes, a retirement for Yorkshire's top rack. A disaster for Dylan. Again, an issue with the machine like we had at Brands Hatch. And well, that is now going to be a healthy advantage for Brett in the championship. So lap 7 of 10 then we have got Mason G leading ahead of Brett with Super Ted in P3. Good run this from Ted. Just keep your head now, sunshine. 3 seconds is the gap behind. 2.2 seconds is the gap up ahead. It's going to take a lot to close the gap down to Brett. Like we said yesterday, ladies and gents, in practice, that Ted and Brett are pretty similar over one lap. They can very rarely be separated by much in practice sessions or qualifying. So fair play to both of them. Clean racing, hard but fair racing. That's what we like here at SDPG. Well, let's go for a rundown of the Orlen Mason G. Looking solid as ever. Out front, 3.9 seconds to the good. And well, is on to start from pole position in tomorrow's second race of the weekend. Looks good over the mountain. Then we've got Brett, Ashby's finest and championship leader in P2. And Ted is closing the gap slightly, 1.9 seconds. Oh, it's just gone back up to over 2 seconds in P3. Then we've got Charlie in a lonely 4th place at the moment. That's a good result for Charlie. Then we've got Jamie in 5th, Adam in 6th, Mason Roth has tipped off at the bottom of the mountain, and he has gone. We've got a retirement there for Mason Roth as well there. Well, Jan now up to 7th and Aaron in P8. Well, a few retirements from this first Superbike race of the weekend. That's on to lap 8 of 10 then for our racing. Oh, I tell you what, mistake here from Mason G. A mistake from Mason there. It's not cost him enough time for Brett to close. I tell you what's been a mistake here from Super Ted whilst I'm getting distracted. No worries, Mason. Hope you're okay, mate. In towards the gooseneck then goes Ted, with Charlie not too far behind in this one. No problem at all, Mason. Hope you're okay, buddy. I was going to say, if you need anything, give me a message, but I don't think I can do anything for a blurred vision. Through the chicane then for Super Ted. 3.5 seconds is the gap between first and second at the moment. I think this could be our finishing order. Certainly the top 2 over the mountain in towards Hall Bends for Super Ted and Charlie. Oh, Charlie's run a bit wide there in the background. That is just going to give Ted a 2.5 advantage through in towards Barn Corner. Goes Ted. Well, Mason G on to his penultimate lap. Just got to keep this clean now for the next 3 minutes or so, and he will take the first win of the weekend like he did here in our last event at Cadwell Park. Let's have a look a little bit further down. Have we got any battles? No, everyone's pretty well spread out in this one. I think the closest one is between Ted and Charlie, and that's spread out a little bit as well. Well, there we go, ladies and gents. So, this young man just keeping himself out of trouble. Again, this will be his 24th podium of the season. Just in Sinton, or 23rd. I can't remember. Could be 23rd. I'll check that. But another podium for Brett, Mr. Consistent, and well, just doing a great job. Fantastic stuff from Brett, just doing what he needs to do. But we cannot take anything away from this young man, number 28, Mason G. Well, has looked good here through Hall Bends. Like the front was just tucking ever so slightly. Through the hairpin. Oh, someone's very kindly knocked the braking marker onto the track. Through Barn Corner, down towards the line, and over the line then goes Mason G to start his final lap of the race at 1:24.9. That is scintillating pace from the number 28. In towards Charlie's. Oh, using all the road there is Mason. On the power then up towards Park Corner for the final time. In towards Park he goes. That's right on board with Mason for a little bit of this lap then. Just done a great job. I tell you what, actually, let's not forget, ladies and gents, and I did forget to apologise to Mason, that he started from the back of the grid, ladies and gents. From last to first. That is some effort around any circuit, but certainly around Cadwell Park. Great result that from Mason G. Well, through the chicane he goes then for the final time. And up towards the mountain. Oh, I don't like seeing showing off too early. Makes me nervous. In towards Hall Bends then for the final time. Into the hairpin then for the number 28, Malted R5L Yamaha. It's going to be back on the top step, ladies and gents. What a ride from last to first. Number 28, Mason G, takes the win here in race number 1 at Cadwell Park. A strong ride from Ashby's finest. Brett takes P2 and a solid P3 from Super Ted. Great ride from Ted. And P4 from Evil Knievel. Charlie on the back wheel. I swear he spent his life on the back wheel. Jamie makes his feelings abundantly clear in P5. Good ride that from Adam in P6. Jan and Aaron will round out the runners and riders in that one. Well, what a lap time that was from... Look at that from Jamie. 24.3. Whew, holy moly. Right. So there you go, ladies and gents. That is your race 1 result. Mason G, Brett and Super Ted, your podium, with Charlie in 4th, Jamie in 5th, Adam in 6th, Jan in 7th, and Aaron rounding out the runners and riders in that one. Technical issues for Mason, Roth and Dylan will mean they are towards the back of the grid for the second race tomorrow. Well done to all riders. That is no easy feat, doing a race round Cadwell Park. And look at that, we've done that in 15 minutes. And it's before 9. Early finish, everybody. Clock off. No. Be careful what you're saying there, Seamus. Right. So before we go, ladies and gents, just another couple of reminders. If you missed it at the start of the show, let's just get that on there. Please go and check out and give us a follow at official BSEC, where all the latest news, screenshots, live championship standings, etc., will be on that page, and also riders and teams that are collaborating with us, and you'll see their posts. So go and also check those out as well. Mason Roth, Brett, and the Malted R5L Racing Squad, just to name a few, have done some fantastic posts for us. So go and check that out. And also, ladies and gents, we would like to also say another big thank you to Exact Moves for sponsoring, or being the title sponsor of the SDPG British Superbike Championship. For all your business moves, installations, etc., give Exact Moves a bell and they will sort you out with some high quality service, I believe. So there you go. Right, ladies and gents, that is all from me. I need to go and stock up, and I need to go and get my paycheck from Pepsi. Other fizzy drinks are available. Right, thank you so much for joining us tonight, ladies and gents. Well done to all riders. That was no easy feat. Well done, everybody. I am going to leave you, like we did last night, with a video that we took from Cadwell Park. You've already seen it tonight, but why not? Everyone loves a 2-stroke. If you could smell it, that would help, wouldn't it? That would be nice. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. And we go again with race day tomorrow. 5 races tomorrow. Look forward to that. We will see you tomorrow night for the third day of action here at Cadwell Park. Thank you very much, ladies and gents, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.
I think that was might have been a silent pump there. Associated with that. They moved down to the side of that as well.